Hi, I'm Cyanea Davies and I'm a licensed athletic trainer. Currently, I'm a graduate assistant with the athletic training program under Ted Gerard. My duties around here, I help teach and assist teaching, so being a TA. So I help Ted with Gen Med and his capstone class and his other classes I teach, his clinical class right now. And then I also help out with Kin 150 labs and upper extremity labs and modality labs. Athletic training is more than what we see on TV. It deals with prevention, rehabilitation, emergency management, and just quality care for our athletes and our patient populations. We like to say that athletic training, you know a little about a lot instead of a lot about a little. So you just have your hand kind of in every little nitty-gritty pool that you can think of for healthcare. Typically, a day-to-day is going to vary based on like your clinical site or where you're at for your job as an athletic trainer. So, but typically, like in a sports industry realm, your job is, you know, morning weights if they have weights or whenever their weight sessions are. So attending that, helping out with strength and conditioning specialists, making sure there's any modifications we need for athletes due to injuries or other issues that are going on that needs to be presented to them, and collaborating with them to make our athletes the strongest that they can be before and after season starts. And then typically you'll go into, you know, your morning, afternoon treatments before they go out to practice. They do practice, so you're out observing, watching, making sure everyone's okay and safe, placing out waters, things like that in preventative nature. And then you have your post-practice setups and cleanup, and then you kind of just head home and start it all over again. So your days are definitely long and grueling, but they're so rewarding at the end of it. For example, an industrial setting, from my knowledge at least, is you have a more stable 9 to 5. And they might do like demonstrations or give talks to their worker, demonstrate like proper biomechanics and ergonomics for like lifting things and how to place things and just overall safety issues going on. I think it just varies by, you know, setting again. Originally, athletic training used to be a bachelor's degree programs nationwide. For us to get more recognition in healthcare and to be known as like an actual healthcare provider, we've set our standards with the CADE accrediting body and the BOC, the Board of Certifications, to have students in athletic training become masters at it. So we are now moving into a master's program to help better compensate for pay rates, more education so we can get more knowledge behind it, and then just overall just the idea to be elicited as a healthcare provider and be recognized as one, as we are healthcare providers. Here at UNLV, we are finishing out our bachelor's program here for class of 25. So beginning summer of 25, we will start the that'll be the first round of master's programs, which is super exciting. That application process right now, currently at UNLV, is going to look like a application meeting that'll be held in September, early September. You'll attend that. You'll do 50 clinical observation hours that are approved by a healthcare provider. You'll need 2 letters of recommendation. From there, your applicant will go through review. That review process will be done by faculty here at UNLV. From there, you will be elicited an interview. You'll go through the interview process, and then after the interview process, they will accept you and admit you into the program, and then you'll do your regular UNLV grad school application after. UNLV's program offers faculty like you wouldn't believe. Like, they are there for you 100% of the way. There is a method to their madness in choosing your clinical site. I think each site here offers something that you need in the moment. Also, the fact that we actually get to put in a preference for clinical sites, I think, is different. I don't know many programs that allow their students to actually put in a request for a site for the next semester and, you know, have that opportunity to even like attempt to get, you know, top 3 choices. Our program has a diverse range of clinical sites available for students to have access to and collaborate with. So we have had access to all UNLV sports, so football, baseball, softball, swim, dive, cheer, like you could name them all. We recently got authorization with UNLV hockey to do like a club sport-based one. We've done secondary high schools, so we have private schools as well, so anything in CCSD related or Bishop Gorman and Faith Lutheran. We've had UFC Institute, so that's always a big popular one amongst applicants and students inside our program. Orthopedic settings, just in case you want to go the more clinical route, so we have Desert Orthopedic Center, we have PT clinics that we are able to go to, so there's a plethora of clinical site opportunities to have for a student in our program, which is really great. Secondary to your clinical site in general for like that semester, we have a plethora of opportunities for outside clinical internships and things like that. So we've had the luck of having students at the Las Vegas Aces, we've worked with the Golden Knights, so it's very immersive and expanding and collaborating within our community, which I think is something different and unique too compared to other programs. The sports realm and just patient population for athletic training here is always constantly growing. Like we've had the addition of the WNBA, we've had the addition of the NHL and the AHL, and now we're getting, you know, hopefully getting Oakland and things like that. So it's definitely growing, and it's a great place to be because of these opportunities and things like that within our community that we have so much access to and help for. I got my feet into athletic training due to going to a magnet school program out at Southeast Career and Technical Academy. I didn't want to go to a traditional high school, and I thought the idea of going to a magnet school might be something that would be interesting and further develop my college career, essentially. I went to what they called a tech night, so it was like a trial night, and we went to different programs that they had offered, and I tried my hand in nursing first. Went down there, you know, tried to enjoy it as best I could. Didn't really find what I was looking for, I think, initially, is what I anticipated it to be. And then I went upstairs to the sports medicine room, and just the atmosphere, the faculty there, everything was just so alarming and welcoming. Like I had to get into that program. So I applied to SECTA, got in, and I did my 4 years with sports medicine. And thankfully, and luckily for me, my sports medicine teacher was a UNLV alumni from our athletic training program here. So she talked super highly of this program and all of that. So that's kind of what started my process of love for athletic training. And then, you know, I took a step back after high school and, you know, went to college for the first year and applied to different ones and didn't know what I really wanted to do, like typical college students don't. And I actually enrolled as a psych major, thinking I would go into like neurobiology or neuroscience, something along those lines. Didn't really have a heart for it over the summer and was like, what am I doing? Had that kind of realization. I was like, I loved athletic training. Why am I not just continuing it? So I did. I switched my major within 2 days of getting admitted as a psych major. Went pre-athletic training and then enrolled into the program, went through that process, and first try wasn't successful, which was okay, and it, you know, makes you question things and try a little harder, and that's okay. And second year I applied again because this is what I wanted to do, and got accepted and admitted and went through the program for 2.5 years, and fell, you know, every day I fell in love with it, every single moment. There was not a time where I didn't want to be here. There's always so much for it to offer, and it's incredible. If you're considering it or like you're still kind of unsure and on the fence, I say give it a shot. I think the worst thing that could happen is you try it and you fail, or you just don't discover something that you just aren't really interested in anymore, or maybe that's just not the career path that you anticipated it to. I think that's a good start. So finding an athletic trainer around campus, maybe it's at your local high school, things like that. Talk to someone that's been through it and is one currently, I think is like the good starting point. You can always reach out to our program director and our coordinator of clinical education, Michelle, Samuel, and Ted Gerard. I think just establishing that and getting all the information that you need to understand it fully, I think is like the good basis and starting point. I think that's just in general for any career path, right? Like we have to explore, we have to try and really give it our all, and then if we discover that we don't like it, that's okay. Like everyone's gonna have their own niche and their own pathway to success and pathway in their career, and that's totally fine. You know, there's multiple ways to go outside of athletic training and still be within the sports industry and the sports realm. So there's a plethora of chances to find your way into sports, even if it's not through athletic training. If your heart is set on it, I would still kind of recommend the same thing, like reach out, make connections, network with people, just so that way you can have an idea of like what next steps are, things like that. Be on the lookout for things, and plus it puts a name to a face. Like I think the biggest thing too is like I said, name to a face is really good, because then it shows that you actually are trying to make an effort to want to be here, because our program is highly competitive. Typically we only take 12, 14 applicants a semester, like for a cohort year. If it's something you want, like definitely reach out, make the effort to apply yourself in those situations and with your professors and faculty, and get used to that idea and concept. I think is a very helpful topic to discuss. And then just staying on top of your anatomy and your grades for all your classes and your prerequisites, right? Because it is competitive in nature, subpar grades aren't really gonna pass it all the time, right? Like at the end of the day, like we are preparing you for a board of certification examination, and that's what they're trying to do. So we want people that are going to be, uplifting and work through their academia, even if there are struggle moments, and that's okay. And that's what's nice about our faculty here is like if you make the effort to try and figure out what's going on wrong, they will help you 100% along. If you're gonna do something, fail at it, and fail at it big, especially here in the classroom, like in any program in nature. I think that was one of the biggest things and advice that I wish I would have taken on more and understood more in my days in the program. It's okay to make mistakes and it's okay to be wrong. You don't always have to be right. There definitely is true wrongs, but there's never really such thing as like a dumb question or something that's you can fail at, and that's okay. You know what I mean? We grow and get better, we recognize, we use it as a self-evaluation tool, and we make improvements based off of that. I think that's something that I hold dear in my heart now. It's like if I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail big, and I'm gonna get it out of the way, and I'm gonna learn from it, and I'm never gonna make that mistake again. That's the biggest thing, and I think it's also okay to recognize that it's okay to fail, and it doesn't make you any less of a person or even less successful than your counterparts or things like that. I think that's the biggest thing advice I wish I would have had going into like my last semesters. It's like it's okay to not be perfect right off the bat. No one's perfect, so. Bye guys.